case. Deja ya que te vayas.
Tirando ya.
Army Master Sergeant Ken Van Dyke, well, he placed a bet on Polymarket before going in and capturing Maduro in Venezuela. He made hundreds of thousands of dollars and was just arrested by the Department of Justice last night. He faces up to 50 years in jail if found guilty. Let me break down the whole story. So again, a special forces soldier who helped capture Maduro, he got arrested for just betting on his own mission. As I mentioned, this is Master Sergeant Ken Van Dyke. He's an active duty military member at Fort Bragg. He wagered $32,000 on Polymarket, a gambling marketplace online, that Maduro would be out of control or out of the country by January. He made 13 separate bets between December 27th and January 2nd, and he cashed out over $400,000 in profits and then routed those profits through a foreign crypto vault or exchange. Well, he was just, again, as I mentioned, arrested last night. There's a ton of debate right now if you look at Congress this afternoon on people calling for him to be pardoned or people calling for the book to be thrown at this Master Sergeant. I'm curious what you think. The comments are going to be open during this whole video. Get down there and let me know. Should the Department of Justice prosecute this individual, or should they pardon him? Make sure you tell us why, too, so that we could have a debate down in the comments section. So again, this Master Sergeant in the Special Forces was directly involved in Operation Resolve that extracted Maduro. And this is, again, what the gentleman looks like. I did read, and it's unconfirmed, evidently this gentleman was about 2 years away from getting full retirement benefits. Now he's in a jail cell as of this morning. But one of the individuals in Congress that's not taking this well is Representative Anna Paulina Luna from the state of Florida. And she has a twist on this gentleman's activities and his potential upcoming prosecution. She says this: if members of Congress are caught insider trading, it's a small couple $100 fine. If you're caught doing it in the military, like Master Sergeant Dykes, you could face up to 50 years in prison. She goes on to say, anybody who cannot see that the members of Congress are truly insider trading, you're either low IQ or you're willfully ignorant. Let's take Nancy Pelosi for an example. Nancy's logged over 17,000% in returns, and she's considerably outperformed Warren Buffett every year that she's been in Congress. So Paulina Luna went on to Newsmax just the last evening and had a really interesting breakdown. And again, let's take a look at this, and then we'll meet each other in the comments. Let's see what she had to say.
A story just came out before the show came on about one of the guys they sent in to grab Maduro out of Venezuela actually bet on that and made $400,000, and the DOJ has now arrested him. One of the guys that went into Venezuela to do that operation back in December.
Yeah, so again, the reason I wanted to talk about that is because here you have an example of the DOJ saying, you know, this is not fair. We're going to go and we're going to throw the book at this guy, right? Yeah. I'm not necessarily saying what he did is right. However, every single day in Congress, you have multiple members of Congress that are engaging in insider trading. We had an actual ban on this that we pressured leadership to bring to the floor, and we're going to get a vote on it. But Hakeem Jeffries, okay, went and told the Democrats not to support this ban, and we were receiving own pressure from our own leadership on pushing this forward. And yet you have a member who went on this raid, which, by the way, our military members don't get paid a lot. But the member that goes on this raid places a bet, and yet he's facing, I think, up to 50 or 60 years in prison. So there is no double standard of justice, or there is no fair justice in this country if you have members of Congress getting away with it, and this guy doing it every day. So an unpopular take, I'm going to be asking for him to be pardoned. I'm going to ask that he or they disgorge his profits, and that he basically go back to the military, because at the end of the day, again, we have proof of this happening every day. Nancy Pelosi made 17,000% returns on her stock investments.
Unreal.
Yeah,
she's not going to jail.
I totally
Democrats
agree.
and Republicans, 600%, not in jail.
And that list, when they show that list of the most corrupt, everybody is making a fortune. That's a multicolored list. It's red and it's blue. This is not to any one party.
It's not to any one party, because we saw Dan Crenshaw, the gentleman that just got primaried, making tremendous returns as well, and he's a Republican. So do you agree with Anna Paulina Luna that this gentleman should get a pardon, send the money back, and ultimately get reinstated back to his position in the Special Forces? This is where we're at, right? I don't necessarily agree with what he did, but I don't think an active member of our military that did a mistake like this should be in jail for 50 years. And as Paulina Luna says, especially not in light of the double standard that we see in Congress happening every day. So I'll leave you with this. Again, hit up the comments. Paulina Luna says here in her X post, does the Department of Justice equal the Department of Jail for you, but not for them? It's a curious twist on how to look at it, and I think she brings up a legitimate point on the importance of making sure that there's not a double standard, in this case with the gentleman from the military or with Nancy Pelosi, where she absolutely has a history of insider trading throughout her whole congressional career. Our very next story is going to be one that you don't want to miss. This is, I guess, a good lesson for any of us who didn't know this already, that you just can't believe everything that you see and read online. In this instance, there was some Indian medical student that created an AI profile of some cute little blonde girl in a bikini that was a MAGA person and a fan of Donald Trump. He made thousands of dollars selling views to her profile and merchandise, etc. I break out the whole story because it's not about the Indian scammer, and it's not about the blonde bimbo that was generated by AI. What it is the most recent swipe by fake news media, in this instance the New York Post, against Trump voters and how they think that we're stupid. All the details are coming up next. Have a look.